Disclaimer: the information and education material contained herein is meant to promote the general understanding and dialogue of GANs processing. Such information is not meant or intended to serve as a substitute for a healthcare professional's clinical training, experience, or judgment. For patients and individuals, such information is not to be a substitute for professional medical, therapeutic, or healthcare advice or counseling. For medical issues or concerns, including decisions about medications and other treatments, readers, viewers, listeners should always consult their physician or, in serious cases, seek immediate assistance from emergency personnel. Prescription information, procedures, and use of medical devices information should be undertaken only by properly trained and certified medical personnel. We specifically disclaim any warranties, express or implied, including implied warranties of merchantability or fitness for a particular purpose. Such information is provided, as is, and is believed to be accurate at the time of its publishing, but it is the viewer's job to evaluate the accuracy of any information found in this presentation. Every case presented is of their own experience, applied by themselves for themselves, and it applies to their case only. Every person experiencing health problems should seek professional medical advice and consult their course of treatment with a doctor. The processes of plasma balancing described herein are a natural process which supports the body but does not replace medical advice or therapies one is already subject to.
It's time for change to move into the real work of the universe. And it's time to understand that we use the matter state to reach the level of understanding of the soul of the man. Now you understand maybe why the Creator has sent his messengers in the name of whatever you have had. Is that they bring the ears, that it can be used when the time of the Messiah comes. They can teach the soul and the message, not to oppose, but by them understanding through those who have become messiahs, to give from their souls to these to elevate, the job is made easy. The school is there and the students are devotedly there. Then there won't be any fight between what they call the Muslims and the Christians. The lamb and the lion will eat and sleep in the same nest. The Christians and the Muslims will sleep and pray in the mosque and in the same church in the name of their souls, not in the name of religion that is used to create so much conflict for the benefit of those who were the hyperactive children. The time has come, the time of change is here. And as I said, my wish is my command. If it's your wish to see peace, the path of peace is laid very clearly. It's the soul of the collective awareness. By giving will create that position of change. No other thing. There is no pen in the soul of the man. And I'm sure once you go into the universal community, you will never see anything written but the balance of the fields of the soul of the existence. Try to be humble enough not to and you possess. Otherwise, you'll fall in the same path of the church and the mosque. This is what we promised, and this is what we have delivered. We have to understand the operation of the soul, and we have to understand the soul of the man is a star in the cosmos of the universe. If we compare the soul of the man and many of us, 7 billion in one collection, Earth is like a galaxy with so many stars. When we look in the depth of the universe, we see galaxies with hundreds of millions of stars in it. So is the planet Earth. It carries 7 billion beautiful stars, which are the soul of the man. Carries with it soul of so many trillions of animals, plants, and everything else. So if you look, when someone who does not see the physicality of the earth and its content, what do they see? They see a galaxy with so many beautiful lights shining, each one according to their strength, each one according to their position. An infant has a beautiful soul, so has the old man. To those who do not see the physical dimension of this planet, but they see the strength of the field, we are clusters of stars. The human race, every single soul, no one from a distance sees that's the soul of a fisherman, that's the soul of the cosmologist, that's the soul of the president. They all shine irrespective of the physicality. This is the magic. This is what the new science has to bring to man. When we look to our soul, we see nothing but a star in the other souls. And this is the break. This is the understanding. This is what all these teachings are about. Coming to mature to the next level, to understand in the deep space, the universe is the oyster for those souls who serve. Then man is ready to go into space. Then man is ready to become part of the universal community which has been promised. I never promised you heaven. I always promised you the elevation of the man to join the family. And now you have the key. It's you who has to open the door to understand, if I can raise the soul of these people or millions of other souls, that the physical life on this planet changes, then I'm worthy to be part of the universal community. To be there to serve, to expand, to be there, to be part, that in the cycle of life of universe, I become, in being part, I become part of the totality. When man reaches that point, a new dimension in the strength of the soul of the man will appear, which is beyond imagination of understanding of the physical life. It's the gate to the opening of the new life, in a new dimension, which is beyond imagination of what you might call a new beginning, a new cycle, which that cycle carries with itself the origin of the creation of life in the universe and the universe. It's the elevation of the soul to serve, become the key, not a throne of the physical life. The time is right. The time has come for the man to go through this process.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 381st One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace, here on Tuesday, June 3rd, 2025. This is a broadcast of the Keshe Foundation, Spaceship Institute, Education Department, and part of the Public Teachings in English. My name is Rick Crammond, and I'll be your host once again in this weekly series of workshops. And once again, we have the pleasure and honor of having members of the Universal Council present to present the workshop. And I think they're eager and ready to begin. So let me find my workshop here first. Just bear with me a second.
Dean, would you like to do the honors?
Yeah, thank you, Mark. Yeah, I will start, and I'm sure you, Mark, you can add something to this. So, welcome everybody to the One Planet, One Nation, One Race, where we're joining the soul of man with the creation, with the Creator, with yourself, being part of a much bigger totality. And we welcome you. We really welcome you to being present in this moment with the Universal Council, with the knowledge seekers, which we are all knowledge seekers, each and every one of us. We're present in physicality, and we have this wonderful condition inside of us. We have this direct connection to the source of creation, and it's called the soul of the man. And we welcome this energy, this inner energy source that's part of each and every single human being and every created creature present, to connect in this moment, to bring our souls together and join together and bring peace and beauty forward in this moment, in this precise moment. I'd just like to just say, on a personal note, I suddenly realised something very significant to me not so long ago. I was walking, as I often do, I was walking along a path. And this path I've been walking on, and I was going up a hill. And I remember, I've been thinking about this for a long time, and I was looking up at this specific position along the path. And I was convinced, I had a belief, a real deep belief, I was looking in a certain place. And I've been going to this place for a very long time now, many, many months, if not years. And I got to the top of it, and then suddenly I looked down. And I suddenly realized that the position from below to the position I was actually looking at, that I believed I was looking at, was totally the wrong place. So I based a belief on looking at a specific position, and based everything around it. And then when I got there, and the realization was that when I looked from another viewpoint, it was in totally the wrong position. I was looking at the wrong physical place. And then once I realized this and I started to look back and look down, I suddenly realized this made sense for so many different things. So our belief systems, where we view and what we base our whole reality upon, can be very powerful. So understand to empty your cup, be free from all other intentions, let it all go. Come to the realization that we can have a viewpoint from any position. We have to let go. We have to realize that the beauty is all around us, not just one position. And then when we let go of this and we start to experience more of a 360 sphere around us of our intentions, of our beliefs, of the beauty of the creation, then everything starts to open up for us. And I think this is for me, it was a big realization that a physical point was creating a reality. And this is one seed that I set. And realizing that the position wasn't quite what I thought, then I needed to reevaluate, to let go, be at peace. So, welcome to the One Planet, One Nation, One Race, and we wish you the most beautiful experience, the most beautiful transmutation of being present in this moment. So, thank you and welcome, Mark. I don't know if you'd like to add anything.
Just say welcome, beautiful stars or star seeds or beautiful souls. As we heard in the intro, it's time for change to move, and you are part of it, but I think you can become a bigger part of it as you choose. So we're opening up a lot of the mysteries about ourselves, our structure, the world of creation. And this is called enlightenment, I believe. And we see many similarities between our structure and the world of creation. As we understand, we exist and operate in the universe, and the universe exists and operates within us. So we're creating peace through us becoming enlightened in a way to do through our souls or our energy centers collectively creating this peace. Remember, our true nature is non-physical or energy. We've come from energy. We're manifesting now in the matter state, and we'll go back to energy. And it was beautiful again on the 10th, 11th, and 12th of May, what we saw in Beijing. Mr. Keshe said this creation of gold is halfway completing the world peace process. I don't quite understand that statement. Again, maybe this is in a way, showing the beginning of the end of materialism, where we can create things in a way out of the understanding of the interaction of fields. And of course, that relates to our own structure. And we do understand that peace creates more wealth in a way for all of us, and maybe not so much wealth in the pocket, but wealth in the enlightenment about the creator, the creation, and about ourselves, rather than war, which creates a lot of wealth. And of course, every time we've had peace on this planet, apparently man has gone through quite a bit of technological advancement, probably technology and also about ourselves. Maybe we can refer back to Atlantis, or maybe we can refer back to the Persian Empire, where many nations gave their wealth in tribute to keeping a peaceful condition. So we can become more kind to ourselves and to each other. And this kindness, it doesn't cost anything. It's free. So join us. It's time of change is here. You can be part of it. You're invited to be part of it, and join with us to bring the change through the energy dimension, not so much through the physicality. But there's so much more, and hopefully we have a very enlightening program for all of us to become more wise about the creation and this whole process of energy, which again, we've been heavily weighted on the matter state or the physical side. Now we're opening up this other dimension that we've always operated in, but never really got a handle on it. So thank you all for being here, and continue to wish for peace. Thank you.
And speaking of wishes, next we have the wishes. And I'll remind our audience, we'll have a full minute of silence for each wish for you to activate and contemplate the wish. And I think we begin with Marinez.
Yes, even though it's not mine, but we, the Universal Council, give through our soul, elevating the soul of all souls in existence, to be in this oneness of one nation, one planet, one race, as one soul.
We, the Universal Council, elevate the souls of each of the captains, satellite souls, members of the Universal Council, and all the components of the structure of the learning process for all to be passengers of the universe.
With the Universal Council, create condition for supporting the Keshe Foundation financially to support the change to a permanent peaceful planet.
We, the Universal Council, elevate every soul on earth for peace and prosperity.
We, the Universal Council, elevate all souls in existence to understand the existence of universal love within all souls, connecting again after eons as one soul of peace, love, and abundance.
We, the Universal Council, give freely from our soul to connect and elevate all leaders to work as one soul in one direction with Keshe Foundation and Mark Ray Corp. To achieve peace through technology in exchange for peace as one nation, one planet, one race. These are our wishes, and our wishes we command.
Next, we have the connection between souls with Stefania.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. I hope you can hear me because it's very windy here. Yeah,
It's
yes.
clear. It sounds good, Stefania.
Okay, very good. Very good. So we got the soul connection now. And the soul connection, if we wanted to relate it to the workshop of last week, the 592, we can say that because we connecting in the soul level, we could say that we work at the time at the energy level. And as you know, when we connect at the energy level, we can, through the intelligence that we acquire through the past experience, we can create a time in the energy state, and this can bring us also be more enlightened. So I thought about that. So the more we connect at the soul level, I was thinking, the more we can get enlightened. So I noticed as well that the more I practice, I put in practice what I learn through the Keshe Foundation, that we have this matter side and we have this energy side, and one cannot be without the other, like the yin and the yang. I've been now making more part of my life the practice of the energy life, the energy state. And I noticed with time, I noticed improvements. And I noticed improvements even when we connect with the wishes. I noticed improvement when we connect at the soul level here. And I noticed improvement also when we meet up every day at 8 o'clock. I don't know if you as well had those improvements. I hope you keep practice every day and keep improving every day. Because another thing I understood from the workshop of last week, that by practice, by the doing, that we get more and more enlightened, because we gather in more and more knowledge and experience from the past through practice. Okay, so I don't want to talk any longer, and we're going into practice. Practice the energy sides of our existence. And I like what Mr. Keshe said, that at the energy level, we're like the nervous system of the universe. So when we connect, sometimes I imagine we're like the the neurons in the brain. We all the soul connecting are all the neurons of the universe. I thought that was great. I think what a great place to be. So let's connect. In the soul connection, we try not to think. So when you think, you're still in the physical level. So one of the practice of connected at the soul level is that you have to learn of not think, but actually step into the feelings, emotion, sensation. So to help you with that, one thing that helped me, that Mr. Cash repeated many times, was that okay, you have to try not to think, because when you think, you are in the wrong place, you are not in the energy level, but you can replicate, for example, the emotion or feelings of love. Um, and to even have a more stronger emotion, because also we learned in the last workshop there are different level of emotion, and emotion can live in the physical dimension, like when you fall in love of someone, or the love that you have for, I don't know, your son, or um, but there is also a love that the love can also be in both dimensions. So it can be also in the energy dimension. So it's the love of the unconditional love, the pure love of the love, if that we call love of the creator, or the love of this of the source. So if you can in this connection, soul connection, replicate the feelings of when you first fall in love, or the love you had for your child. So this has to be a love, very strong love. And then if you can make it unconditionally for everybody, for everything, then you're very close to go into the emotion that it's not part of the physical side. And they are the emotions that we have to learn how to replicate and recognize, the emotions that are uh, get us closer to the central energy system of the creator, for example. So, okay, so we're gonna now I'm gonna talk in Italian. I'm gonna say this one in my mother language. So, in the meantime, if you don't understand Italian, you can connect at the soul level and we can get started. Ok, buon pomeriggio a tutti quanti, o mattina o sera, da dovunque siete, perché la comunità italiana non è soltanto in Italia, ma che deve essere, può anche essere in qualsiasi altre parti del mondo, come per esempio io abito in Inghilterra, ma sono italiana. E adesso facciamo la connessione dell'anima e, come ho detto in inglese, ci connetteremo a livello dell'anima, e un modo pratico per connettersi a livello dell'anima è non pensare. Quindi dobbiamo connetterci replicando le sensazioni dell'amore infinito. Se riesci a applicare queste sensazioni mentre ci connettiamo, allora proprio lì riusciremo a praticare la parte energetica delle emozioni, e quindi creare anche questo tempo a livello energetico dell'anima. O come Mr. Cash diceva, la parte energetica del nostro, noi siamo come i neuroni dell'universo. E quindi adesso ci connettiamo a livello dell'anima, cercate di non pensare ehm, e a replicare questo amore incondizionato, proprio a riempire il più possibile il vostro spazio con questo amore incondizionato, così tanto che poi questo amore straripperà e andrà a, come si può dire, inondare anche tutto l'universo. Ok, adesso iniziamo. Una cosa che volevo, one thing I wanted to say in English was that if you can replicate this unconditional giving and replicate it because we got one thing that m- replicate unconditional giving, we can do it unlimited. So, we don't have limited amount of love or unconditional love. So if you can produce in limited amount, so much that will cover all yourself, and then it will strip outside and will start to cover all the place around you until cover all the town and the cities and the country where you are in, and then all the country will be inundated of this unconditional love until we're gonna cover up all the planet Earth. And then once we're inundated all the planet Earth with this unconditional love, then we'll goes out to the universe. And we can go on and on and on because we have unlimited amount. So you can just replicate like unlimited amount in such a way that we can cover the whole universe and beyond. Okay, we've got a few minutes to do that. Okay, we'll get started now. Ok, grazie, potete ritornare adesso, potete aprire gli occhi e continuare se volete questa sensazione di amore incondizionato e tenerla alta, così se riuscite a farlo 24 ore su 24 sarebbe proprio l'ideale. Comunque questo è lo scopo della nostra pratica, di connetterci a livello dell'anima e praticare, praticare, praticare. E poi il tempo ci darà questa intelligenza e questa illuminazione che Mr. Cash parlava la settimana prossima, scorsa. Grazie. Okay, so thank you very much. If you can continue to hold these feelings of unconditional giving, as far as much as you can, and you have these abundances of unconditional giving, unconditional love. You're multi millionaire. No limits there. And if we can remind ourselves to keep in pouring out this love. And last week I was, for mistake, when I was releasing the 592, I actually clicked for mistake 582, and I went back exactly on the beginning of spring, when Mr. Keshe, even in that workshop, releasing unbelievable knowledge. And he said that we need to repair our physicality first. So you have to repair your physical body for then be able to elevate. So therefore, this unconditional giving that you created has to go for sure to fill up all your body first. All the cell of your body has to be inundated with this unconditional love to you, to yourself. And then when all the cells are full and full of this love, unconditional giving, only then they will come out of your pores to the environment and your friends and family, until they will pour as well out this love. They're gonna cover all the villages and the cities, and then you pour out this love through all the continents, and then it's gonna pour out through all earth. Will be full of this unconditional giving, and through, like literally, not just you will not have any healiness, or you will be able to sort out any aches and pain or any issue that you have in your body, but will be able to also sort out, with this pouring. It's like a river, a fast river where all this flow pouring out, we're gonna be able to reach the whole planet and then beyond. We just never stop. We just going, universe, unicorns. So this is a practice that definitely we have to do as much as we can. Definitely has to be done every single day, because good things has to be done every single day. And it just will be a matter of time. Then as we pour in this unconditional love and we creating these feelings, that at the energy level, they will give a more intellect, like Mr. Keshe said in the last teaching, and they will bring us to more enlightenment. So I'm sure the more we're going, and the more we're gonna also grow in speed and in making the change in a more exponential way. So even though now seems you're not sure what you're doing, or maybe it doesn't feel as much, or maybe it looks like too far as a possibility, if we keep doing, just worry about today and do our best today, I'm sure tomorrow it will, we're gonna just come better and better and better, and then we're doing this jump of magnitude jump. So just keep going and keep doing this little connection, and keep practice. We have one every day on Wednesday. Oh, yeah, sorry, every day at 9 o'clock. On Wednesday, I think it's 6 o'clock. So now is Maranes. I think she's going to talk about this appointment. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Hello, it's Mehran, UCS Farsi language, Universal Council Support Farsi language. Thank you very much, my dear Stefania. I'm lucky because I understand Italian. It's close to French. Thank you very much. So I invite the knowledge seekers and everybody interested to the soul connection. I think if humanity, those who have heart and those who think peace is good for the humanity, they could join us, or they could they could try to do it in their own private life. So it goes as we, the Universal Council, invite the Keshe family and the Universal family in unifying at the soul level every time and every day and at 9 p.m. CET to give freely from our souls, to connect and elevate all leaders to work as one soul in one direction with Mark Ray Corporation and Keshe Foundation to achieve peace through technology in exchange for peace as one nation, one planet, one race. Thank you.
Thank you, Mehran, my dear. Thank you, Stefania. Thank you so, so much. And then after this, we invite you to connect with a member of the Universal Council. Welcome, my dear beautiful soul, always, forever. And we also invite you to connect with a member of the Universal Council to send us your question to be answered live each week or the needs of the community. I will say, as the Universal Council page is will be very soon updated and is in working. So I welcome every soul, every beautiful soul to join us in the chat, in the several telegrams with several languages. Telegram chats, ask your question. Well, as we are all knowledge seekers, beautiful souls, we will share each other experience, of course. And you can ask anything like according to the one planet, one race, one nation for justice and world peace. And you are so much welcome. And please do have a beautiful chat for sharing, even asking questions. We ask questions to each other, and of course, sharing love, giving love. So, thank you for joining us as one soul, my dear. And thank you again. Please, I welcome again in this chat, and please do join. Thank you. Salam, namaste, salute, beautiful soul.
Thank you, Sweta. We have a video excerpt from the 576 Knowledge Seekers Workshop on becoming a Universal Council member. I'll play that now.
There's something which I should have made an announcement. As we are structuring and in a new development of the Keshe Foundation, is worldwide application and implication. As we set up the structure for Universal Council, a number of Universal Council members have become old and they reach the age of 60, and they served during the 60 years they are there till 61. They to run the functionality of the operation of the what we call energy dimension, the Universal Council members, if you want to become, please consider and let your soul decide of any languages around the world, as these will be announced very soon internationally, and we expect the souls to serve. And if it's from the knowledge seekers who understand the technology with dimension of the soul, you can apply to be added to and become a member of the Universal Council. The Earth Council is appointed by the Keshe Foundation on the grounds of true structure of the nationality, understanding the culture, that there is no prejudice by physical dimension of the borders. And so if you feel your soul is there to serve humanity in expansion and the growth of it, just apply for it at the Keshe Foundation, or send the email to info@keshe.foundation, say I would like to be a member of the Universal Council. We receive this regularly, and now we going to expand this very rapidly due to what is to come and what is to be done. Thank you very much.
Yes, my dear Rick, I also want to add that, as said by Shriman Mehranji, that please do join the Universal Council members, Universal Council support members. And as we are all universal souls, please do join from every community, each and every region of this world, because this is so much necessary that one person who is even if a universal council is for one person, one universal council, then it is so good. You know, you can create the balance more and more. You can create the balance, give the knowledge to understand, so that the whole world will be ready to transmute, I will say. And I also welcome again to be the Universal Council members and Universal Council support members and Universal Souls. Thank you. Salam, namaste, salute, welcome.
Okay, thank you, Shweta. Next, we'll move into the commandments. We're at commandment number 15, I believe. Normally, Joseph would be part of that, but I don't believe he's here today. We have Shweta and Dean as backup. Please
Thank you,
go
Rick.
ahead.
Yes, yeah, thank you.
Shweta, would you like to go ahead?
No, please go ahead, my dear. Welcome.
Thank you, Shweta. Okay, so as we know, Joseph usually has brought forward these commandments, and the commandment in this moment is, "Thou shalt not judge no one, except himself, and not to be judged by no one." So this commandment, what does it mean? When we look at what Mr. Keshe has put forward, he says that it was because he knew that they will judge him. We're talking about Moses here, and all the lies and what he's done, and then he cannot do the job. What he did to acquire more physical or physicality power. So in letting other people judge us, we are stealing from ourselves. We give our power away. And if we judge another, if we judge someone else, then we are not in alignment with the creation. There is no judgment. There is no heaven and hell. There's no place for a soul to judge another. And when we create this condition from a seed of intention that's incorrect, then we are stealing energy. We're taking energy from another source that was that is not the correct intention, not the way that the soul interacts in the environment of the creation point. It would never do this. The soul is present in the moment to receive energy if the other souls have a surplus of energy to give to the soul. It would never expect it, or it would never take it. If it's freely given, as was mentioned earlier, then this is unconditional love. This is unconditional. And this is where this commandment comes into a position of beauty, that we come to understand that if we don't judge any situation, we view it. We view it for what it is, because it's outside of us. If we only come to the realization of our own being, and the judgment is when we lose our physicality. So the soul will stand before itself and be judged entirely by your own soul. And the soul of man, the creator, will be a position that many will be very shameful before their soul, and really understand the true nature of the position they've taken in physicality. The soul has no judgment other than for yourself, your own soul. So if you want to judge another's physicality, you are just giving away power, giving away energy, and stealing from yourself and giving to another, and vice versa. So you have a condition and an understanding now that we don't need to judge a situation. We don't need to judge someone. Mr. Keshe has always said that if something comes in front of you and it's not for you, or the power is not right, the feeling's not right, then you walk away. You don't judge it. You don't interact with it. You just create another condition, an environment of peace and beauty for yourself. So don't steal from yourself, and don't let the others steal from you by judging you. There is no judgment other than by your own soul for yourself, in front of your own soul, at that moment of the connection where the physical form transforms back into the energy state of the totality of creation. And then we know that this energy, once it's present as a soul, will take another position, will move to another place, time and position, possession, the possession of the soul. So this judgment, thou shalt not judge no one except himself, and not be judged by no one. Understand the beauty of who you are, and be present in the moment. Every thought, every intention we have is an amplification, is a fine filter. So we can look at another person, and through our physical eyes we can make a judgment. But who are we to judge? We can make a judgment of a situation. But as I spoke about earlier, the viewpoint may be totally different to the reality. So you cannot make a judgment on a viewpoint that you're not present with at the precise moment that it manifests. So you have to be totally aware of what you are creating by your thoughts, intentions, and wishes in each and every moment. So we can judge anything or anyone, but the reality is that we judge in ourselves, and then we steal from ourselves. So as a creator of a reality in the matter state condition of the existence of the soul of the man on planet Earth or beyond in all the universes, we have a choice, and we do not judge, we give. And then we receive if the other soul would like to give to us. And when we understand that position, the reality of the commandments that were given, we suddenly realize the power they have, and because of the belief. But when you understand the true essence and start to experience some of this, you realize that the viewpoint was maybe not quite what we expected. So it was an expectation of what it should be, a belief. And the belief is so powerful. So try not to judge yourself or others. Be in acceptance and view it only. And then the energy will not take from you. And vice versa. If you see a situation, if you give it your energy away, you are then connecting to it. And then this energy flow will be back and forward for until you create another condition of peace. So Thou shalt not judge no one except himself, at the point of when you meet your soul, and not to be judged by no one. So let no one judge you. You are the judge of yourself only. You are the captain of your ship. You are the messiah of your soul, as Mr. Keshe would say. You are the creator for yourself and yourself only. And your conduct, your responsibility is for your own conduct. So hopefully with this understanding, we now come to a position where we give unconditionally. Okay. Thank you very much for listening. Shweta, I don't know if you'd like to add anything to this. Thank you.
Yes, my dear. Thank you.
Thank you.
So much, my dear. Beautiful, you said, so calm and peaceful. And I will also say, when I landed in the spaceship of Keshe Foundation, I was an angry person, I was a frustrated person, abused person, kind of that, you know. When level by level, with the knowledge, with the beautiful teachers, with the knowledge seekers all over the world, growing, transmuting day by day, moment by moment, we become a being of like, you know, breathing in this I am that I am, and breathing out all the conditions for all those who are breathing with you, the condition of peace and love, the beauty and totality. So when we say that I am that I am, we understand that we are the image of the Creator. So in this universal unified field, everybody is equal. And now I understand how I am, how I have to balance. I have to balance from within so that I create the balance around. So thou shalt not judge no one except himself and not be judged by no one. And in Bangla Knowledge Seekers Workshop, our beautiful teacher Moshfik has helped me. I mean, he teaches that don't say these words, these negative words. Be positive always. Say, let's see what happens. Be positive. Be equal to all. So this is what we cannot judge anybody, because in this form we are in this world, everybody has a soul. So we have to connect with the soul, and in the soul level we are all equal. How they choose, it depends on them, not us. So we are here to serve, not to be served. So this is what we cannot judge anybody. And Dean says that when you don't match the energy of some being, then you have to come out of that energy field. You have to avoid that. Don't ignore, but avoid. So being in this peaceful position, I am that I am, and understand how we are all equal, and we are the last man to judge ourselves. So here is the point, that if your inclination is giving, then this kindness, this fact that you are a being of light and love aroused within you, and then you are able to give the service to all conditions around you, because we are all part of the condition. And if we say even war, we create this inequality, because there is no war. If we say so, in our reality, there is no war. There's only peace. So thank you, my dear beautiful soul. Thank you, Dean, my dear. Salam, namaste, salam.
Hello again. I wanted to add something which I just thought it's actually something real for me, that can cause and be a source of difficulty for us. And when we see somebody, even a family member, and we think what that person is doing, we don't agree with it, or we think in our wisdom that that's wrong what they do, which of course they think they are right. And then we think it's good for them that we tell them they are wrong. And we tell them. And of course, they start to get defensive and say or act in response. And then it bothers us. It would stay for a long time. How come? I don't deserve this. And that goes on. The tension goes on. Just because I judge the person, which I thought it's good for that person to know that. And of course, nobody likes to be criticized, whatever they do. And we have heard that person maybe for the whole life, for a long time. And then we have to start excusing ourselves because we see that conflict is not worth it. And by the way, there are people we cannot change. And also there are some kind of educations or religions. They think if you see somebody doing something wrong and you know it's wrong, it's good to tell them. So some people think it's kind of a courageous act and a virtue to tell people. But what do we know about the whole creation? What do we know about the whole thing and the whole mentality of people? I mean, we are just so nothing, and that's how we created all these problems. If you don't want to do that, years ago, last century, there was a sick person came and say, I am a better race. I look like that and I'm better than you, whatever. And it started to kill them. And that hurt continues. And now there are two brothers from one father who lived for centuries together, respected each other, lived together with a lot of similarities in every aspect. Somebody from one of them, whatever the motivation, normally it's just for profit, it started the problem that we are better ones and you are humanoid animals. And it started to kill and steal and that. And it has gone it has become such a big virus that everybody in humanity now that opens the telephone or radio, television is affected also by this. All that because somebody said, I'm better, I know better, you don't know, you are worse. Judgment, all that for judgment. So I think whenever we want to judge somebody from now, because before we didn't know that, but now that we know that there has been such a thing, which has not been shown to the people by the person who has brought this teaching, so we don't even judge them because they are the victim of their not knowing and being the victim of the manipulation of others. So we are nothing. There is no virtue to correct people. There are places to correct people by society. And also when we think we have to judge nobody but ourselves, immediately it's such a calming effect, peace, and the concentration which comes to us. That's beautiful to feel this concentration, not not others, but me. I have to concentrate on bettering myself, whatever the goal is, learning, helping. And another thing which my friend said, with my experiences in these recent things and small conflicts of normal people, I found that wherever I was not in unconditional love, I lost it. I lost it in any case. I have to keep unconditional love. Nothing bothers me after that. So I wish you unconditional love sincerely. Thank you.
I'll add a few things to this commandment. One way to look at this commandment is from the perspective of soul. The physicality, as we know it, is prone to this kind of inflammation mentioned in this commandment. But if we do the soul connection, when we do the soul connection and elevate the soul, we are extending our natural connection at the energy level to other souls and letting them be their own judge in a way. We are helping them to judge instead of us judging them. And that's a very different position to take. And by doing so, we unburden ourselves completely of this physical preoccupation of what somebody said or did or whatever else. But we are operating at the energy level. And once we can feel the energy, we can move away from the situation. We can create a new situation. But that's not judgment. That's engagement of our creator within. And how comfortable we are to create a situation for not just us individual, but us collectively. Because there is this collective soul we are connecting to. Instead of judging, we are allowing the other soul to experience the opportunity in the new environment, as it is done by the Keshe Foundation. So this is a completely different way of looking at things. It's a welcoming environment where they may choose that others who are in physicality who may participate in this environment or may not be ready for it yet. And they can reposition themselves. In a way, when we talk about repositioning, they are taking their own step of judgment. And the responsibility, they're experiencing the responsibility of themselves, whatever the outcome may be. So it's a very energetic view of things, or in an energetic position. Did somebody say something? I'm not sure. Something I heard. So, we are not just passive observer of others' actions. We are, by not judging, but setting up the environment for our enhancement and others' enhancement, we are creatively engaged instead of passively suffering from what others are contributing. So, and we can see in this meeting such as ours here that we are engaged in that energy dimension. And in a way, this is an example for all of us, both individually and collectively, to make this reality a part of our existence and bring peace by that process. Thank you.
And of course, I remember this commandment, as Mr. Keshe often does. He puts things different ways, where he said, I don't judge no one, and I don't allow no one to judge me. And of course, if we're employing the ethos of Mitra, which is the thinking good and the speaking good and the acting good, is there room for judgment? And even though I've tried to internalize this, often I still catch myself in judging someone, and then maybe step back from it. But you see someone laying on the street, and they are all disheveled, and maybe they smell, and you say, look at this person, he could have been something much better. And you sort of look at in disgust in a way. But even Mr. Keshe said that that person you see sitting there, that looks like he's homeless, doesn't have anything, his soul may be more elevated than your soul in many instances. So many times we don't have all the information when we think we're judging correctly. So again, keep that in mind. I don't judge no one, and I don't allow no one to judge me. Your soul will judge you, and I think the judgment is the position that you'll take next. And as we know, you'll either be closer to the creator or further from the creator. So the judging will take place again by your own soul, based on whatever field strength you've generated, and that will be your next position. So there's no standing before the creator in this big judgment, which we've all believed in, or many of us have believed in a way, but it's our own soul who will judge us in the final analysis, I believe.
Well put, Mark. Should we carry on to our excerpt from the 591st Knowledge Seekers Workshop? Or
Yes,
is there more comments on this one?
Oh.
Okay. Oops. Yes, we have a part. Let me just back up here because it's not the 592nd. We have an excerpt from the 591st. We had part 1 last week. This is a second part, starts at 1 hour 55 minutes, and it's regards AI from the Keshe Foundation. Okay, just let me share that, and here we go.
When I went to this artificial intelligence center, one of the most advanced ones in the world, they didn't understand what CET's problem for them in the coming time, when we, as a different, what we call structure, different knowledge, will do with this. We can play with this. It gives us an insight into what the problem's going to be. And I'll show you a picture to you that might not know anything, but when we are taken to these what we call artificial intelligence centers, which is the most advanced ones in the world. One of the most advanced. It's just, I cannot explain to you what is the thought behind this. We see things that you might not see in about 20, 30 years. Even at the speed that the technology is. And then we see what is said to come. And how, what they call intelligence will be shared. How the knowledge needs to be brought forward by us, that we can bring the change to our technology, our knowledge. The artificial intelligence of today, compared to what will come out of the Keshe Foundation in next 2-3 years, will wipe out the present AI. The knowledge transferred will be the knowledge of the universe. We have no choice. We have no choice but to use, as I said, the patent. Now we understand the power of AI. We understood 2 years ago. And now we set out, we bought all the AIs which will be affecting the knowledge of the future. And through that, will change the course of the knowledge. Because these knowledge, these AI system computers work in a systematic way. And nobody can change them. And same way, we use the system to beat the system. And this is what will come in the very near future. So many of you in that process, that the artificial intelligence centers set by governments, especially run by governments and by different organizations, are not there for you just to get some quick information. They're updating, and plus what is happening in the medical center, as I said, past few days. I'm trying to share a picture with you, but somehow I cannot access it. I cannot bring it up. Let me see if I can transfer it to another phone. Let me just send this one out. Yeah. If you look at this picture, which I'm trying to share here, it's easier now. Behind this heading, behind this banner, sits one of the most advanced artificial intelligence centers in the world. Below, you see the, what do you call it, collective picture of me and the other people in there. And behind it, you see a city made for artificial intelligence. Literally, the West cannot afford it. And being in that position, knowing how much energy it'll consume, it was very easy to understand how everything is done. You believe in it. We can just add a little bit to it and change the course of knowledge. The same as they did with the patent. We wrote the patent. It was easier to get it at the reach of everyone. And the new artificial intelligence, when I went to this center, when I saw how much it costs to run these machines, it's just going faster and faster, but having no intelligence because it's electronic. The true intelligence comes when these computers become made of plasma, not quantum plasma. When you're an electron, you have to leave on vibration. When you go quantum, it's still vibration because you can see the smallest amount you measure. When you go plasma, you work with the fields of universe. There is no matter state. Then you see the artificial intelligence will have the emotion of the creator. You have the emotion of the knowledge of the universe is in your hand. And I showed you the system is already made to go in that way. Universe is solid. It's dimensionally motion in respect to the point of the observer's gravitational magnetic field strength. As we see only what is in that position. It's very simple if you don't understand. An atom is made of electrons and protons. Electrons and protons are all plasma and in dynamic condition. They're not solid state and locked. So this is why they can connect, they can link up, they can make molecules, they can make atoms, they can make everything else solid and life. And man has not managed to master use of the fields and not vibration of the matter. Then you understand how advanced this technology which we are bringing out is, because it has to be understood.
Okay, that was our excerpt from the 591st Knowledge Seekers Workshop. And that's at around the 2-hour mark if you want to refer back to it at some point. Okay, let me get back to my workshop screen. And oh, I see, I jumped ahead. I missed the knowledge and understanding from the 592nd Knowledge Seekers Workshop with Stefania and or Dean. And I will play the background music for that.
Thank you, Rick.
Please go ahead. Yes.
Thank you. But anyway, no problem, because even this what you just showed to us is again connected to the 592 workshop. because even in there, it talk about the artificial intelligence and how the artificial intelligence in the future will have emotion. So all good. So I'm just gonna resume very quickly the 592 because was again another top workshop. So I do recommend you to go on and re-listen many times. I put even my timer of 15 minutes. See if I can do even shorter than that. Yes, so Mr. Keshe said that in this workshop again, it will take many years to understand. And even in this workshop, he gives the very important information, the secret of life. He said in this workshop, he's gonna give the information that everyone was waiting for. He is started by again talk about the time that we've been learning how to create a time machine, how to create time in the past lecture. But he said that so creating time with the outcome, if you remember in the past teaching, we're creating time with the outcome of the place, position, and possession. And the combination of the three, the balance of the three will give us time. But he said that time, like everything there is in a physical state, in the matter state, everything has to have a parallel in the energy state. So then he's gonna introduce us to how to create time at the energy state. And the time at the energy state is created by the motion. So then he's going to explain again in more detail about emotion. Say that emotion is not outcome or exclusive just of physical life, but emotion. Just a second, just 1 second, I have to answer one thing. So, 1 second. Sorry. Yes. So go back to what I was saying. I was saying that emotion is not something exclusive of this physical life. And then he's going to explain that emotion is a reaction. And he's going to describe that emotion also like an operator. And is the cornerstone for creating time. So but again, he said, as life has got yin and yang, and it got two sides, the physical side and the energy side. He said that as we learn that place, possession, and position in a matter side give us tangibility. We have a parallel side that is at the energy level. And the parallel side of the time at the energy level, he said that it's is the motion. So the motion is the time at the energy level. This is what I understood. So and then he said something very interesting. He said that the emotion can be in both dimensions. So it can be in the energy side and can be in the physical side. So for example, if you're hurting yourself or if you're touching something hot, that is physical, then you have reaction. That reaction, it's you can say this is how you react into the motion of being burned, something like that. And he said something interesting, that the way you react to the emotion and the way you decided to react is usually in correlation to your past knowledge. And this is what he called intelligence. So the intelligence is how you assess emotion and how you react to this emotion through your past information, and you bring into a new position. So this is very, very, very interesting, because then he said again that emotion, when you connect, so when you created emotion from interaction of fields, and then you react into this emotion according to your intelligence, the emotion plus intelligence, it will create the enlightenment. And the enlightenment, and this is the secret of life, he's saying. So when you understand that when you become enlightened, the enlightened is you receiving the different type of enlightenment you will receiving through will be in correlation to your intelligence or to your information of the past. And for me, personally, that's why it is important to the practice. Why is important? When we say be good, do good, think good, or the commandment. For me, the commandments I see them like something that give me direction, where I know how should aspire to behave like that, because those commandments are what are the conduct that it's going closer to the contact of the soul. And I already know that because if my soul and the soul of the man and soul of physicality are imbalanced, but I can become closer to the feelings of the soul of the creation, like for example, the conditional love that was said in the soul connection. Therefore, I'm creating emotion that it will give me a higher enlightenment, because I'm moving away from the physical matter, and I'm get closer to the energy sides. And I know that if I'm working on the energy sides, I'm creating a time not just in the physical level, but in the energy level. And therefore, I can then, through my intelligence, receive more enlightenment. So it gives us a tool. It gives us a tool to gather enlightenments. And then something interesting is said in this workshop, that when you work in the energy dimension, or in the energy state, the time has not place. The time has no place. And then the forward is saying that the time that will be the outcome of the emotion and intelligence and enlightenments, that will decide the position or where you're going to materialize next. Because he said, when you're creating time through the energy level sites, you will have no more position. You can change the position to another time. And when the enlightenment, when I get enlightened, in correlation to how much I get enlightened, that will dictate where I would like to materialize next. Because when I'm creating time with the energy level, I'm getting the totality of the knowledge, because I'm getting close to the soul of the man, of the soul of the creator. So I'm getting more intelligence, and I will be able to perceive the totality of the knowledge. And therefore, I will be able to materialize everywhere in the universe. So he said in this way, it's very important because from this teaching, you can understand that we actually don't move from one place from A to B when we transmute, but actually we raising the field strengths in such a way that we get enlightened, and the much field strength of that enlightenment, it will make us appear to a different place in a different dimension. So this is how you go into A to B. So we are all always here, but the degree of our intelligence and the way we react will make us react differently to our emotion. Then that will give a different enlightenment, and this will create a position. And that's why he talk about the children of Mitra, because the children of Mitra, they materialize in not through the physicality, through the matter state, like we do now in the physical place where we're creating children, two magnetic fields of different ratio by interacting with each other, they creating a soul and a physical soul first, and then the soul of the man get created. But in the child of Mitra is the opposite. We creating physicality through the energy state. So as the soul of the man get elevated and get enlightened, then because he's got the totality of the knowledge, he will be able to create his physicality through the energy side. That is the very, very different when we creating the baby through the physical sides. I don't know if I confuse you enough. Yeah. So it's going on and on, understand this. And then from here, another interesting thing said that for me was that the emotion can be in both dimensions, can be in the physical side and in the energy side, but intelligence can be only at the energy side. This for me was very, very interesting. Okay. So then I going on and on work on talking. I make a different example of creating this time and energy level, and then going into the creation of season, creation of why is important. By going into the planet and going into, it showed the picture of all the planets, and it showed the inclination of the planets. It shows the speed of the rotation of the planets, the direction of the rotation of the planets. So to create this time, we also need to consider the direction of the flow, and we also need to consider the speed of the flow. That's why it then, by looking at the planet, it makes us notice that Mars and Earth are very, very similar. They're very similar on the inclination, so the direction of the flow, and they're very similar on the time of rotation, so the speed. And in the past teaching, he said that to create time, we have to also consider speed and rotation and the space gap. That's why he call space gap system. So it's very important also the position of the central energy system, like the sun, to the position of Earth, where Earth is now. And he talked about the orbits, and he said that the orbits where the planet Earth is, in this orbit, specific orbit, the life is created. Therefore, he said that gradually the planets will shift, they will come closer to the sun, to the central energy point of the universe. And obviously, as the planet goes closer to the sun, the Earth will change position, the Mars will change position. So he said that if you look, if you become a point observer from the Earth and you look in Mars, it's like if you look in the past of the Earth. So the Earth used to be like Mars, where there were life now and then, but the the life in Earth become permanent when Earth became the position where it is now. And if you look Venus, it's like if you look into the future, if your referral point is Earth, because from Earth you look in Venus, is how the Earth is going to be in the future. So it's how you can predict future, or you can look in the past, because every position, every place, it will have a particular outcome in correlation to all these points that we said before. So, okay, so 15 minutes are gone. So then we move on and on there are a lot of factors that interfere with time, space, and position. Even the strength of the sun that is going on cycle, and as it's become weaker over a period of millions of years, even though the Mars is going to go closer and take place of the Earth, the life will be different than in Earth, because at the time the central point of energy system will become weaker. So there are lots of factors. You really have to think 3D or 4D. We have to really expand our way of understanding in not just 2D, but in 4D, 5D, and be considerate of all those factors to be able to then in the future make play with time. Okay, so this is very, very interesting. To finish off, he said to Elon Musk, what's the point for you to do in a rocket to go to Mars? If you stay here and you be patient, Mars will come into place of Earth, and you will have life on Mars like you had it on Earth. And I thought as well, okay, if Mars will become like a Earth and we become like a Venus, and we get closer to the sun, and therefore become more enlightened, I think as well all of us gradually, want it or not want it, we're gonna get all enlightened, because we're gonna be closer to the ray of the sun. They are our enlightenment fields. So I thought that too. So that's brilliant. So then going into the pause, and after the pause, Mr. Keshe is going to speak he stress about the importance of Mark Ray and the share, and the purpose of the share, and the cash coin, the purpose of the cash coins. And to a question if it's best to get the share of the cash coins, he said, look, to improve to strengthen the structure of what we want to do, I invite to all the knowledge seeker to buy as many as cash coin as you can. That will really help the Keshe Foundation and the structure of the change to become more present in the structure of today, and it will really bring a lot of value to this change. He also said the market share are very important. He said that also they will bring a big value, not just in the financial world, but also has towards the government. The government will start to take us more seriously. So, and then he's saying as well that after the break, that it definitely, the Keshe Foundation, it needs now more than ever more donation, because they need to make 2 to 3 millions in 2 to 3 weeks to be able to support the structure to make the change, especially after what happened to China. They're going to do all this congress all over the world. They're going to show face to face what this technology can do, but they need big financial support to become ready to release everything at once. So they need the help in many shape and form you can to donate. So to bring this change. And then you have a lot of interesting question after the workshop, after the pause. One that was really good was also about the drone. This Indian guy came at the perfect time and offered the Keshe Foundation if they're interested to collaborate then with the drone. He said that the future of the drones will be without motor, and will be zero maintenance cost, and will take over all the drones that you can see now. He also said that the misconduct of the Politicians, like for example in America, Trump and all the others, give us a big window of 2 years to for us to introduce the plasma technology and create a change to have permanent peace. That's why he then is very urgent to help support with financial support, because we got just 2 year window to make this change. We cannot miss out to this one. It talks also about the emotion, the importance of emotion. To talk about the origin of the wellness center and how when he understood about emotion and how to change the restore health in the physical body by changing the emotion. He said that the physical health that can be a change in 2-3 weeks, really, in a condition, but to change the emotion maybe will take 2-3 months. But the emotion is the key. So what other? Yes, it's got. Some people ask about Palestine, and he said, unfortunately, Palestine has been a really diabolic plan, and really it's come to the point where there is already been set in Palestine. They already invest millions to make a Riviera there and use the Palestine as the slaves of the Riviera. And already they already make a lot of deals. They're very difficult to reverse. So that's why again we need to work at the soul level as much as we can to support everyone that is suffering, and donate as much as we can to bring the change the fastest we can. And also the importance of now after this workshop, you're definitely gonna understand the importance also of spreading knowledge, because more knowledge we spread, more we can change the knowledge of that is the present time, and this will bring us quicker to all of us to enlightenment, and we can change the time, and going to the future quicker. So there are a lot of stuff to really read and understand in this workshop. I think I said everything. I don't know if I missed anything out, but definitely focus on gathering as much as you can cash coin. So if you can buy cash coin now, just go on and buy. Just buy, if you can, obviously. And if you cannot financially support at the soul level, literally, we got no excuse. And as we said, the commandment, we have to not judge. Not judge is the most difficult things. Every time for me, it's a very automatic judging. If I hear someone and I'm straight away, I have opinion about it. And it's very hard not to judge, and just think about what you're doing, be self-responsible, do your best of what you can daily, and then together collectively, united the soul level, we're gonna make the change. Okay, thank you, bye. Sorry if I took too much time. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Stefania. Thank you.
Okay,
No, you always do an amazing what you speak about, and your knowledge is quite incredible. Thank you, Stefania. Really, really wonderful. So I'd like to add a little bit. I'm reading. So Stefania's, I don't know, maybe taking some notes and is giving her knowledge and bringing it forward on a soul level. I'm going to read something from a transcript of some of the exact words that Mr. Keshe said. And part of it was, emotions from stress in matter state create the heart attack, damage the body, but emotions from the soul of the man without dimension interact with the intelligence. So that gives us a totally different new perspective on how we can create an environment inside our own sphere to control various elements that we create. Very much like a sun. It was mentioned every cell in the body is like a mini sun, and we are creating in the moment through the interaction of feeding emotion back into ourselves. Mr. Keshe was speaking about in this workshop, and Stefania mentioned it, about the Mars situation, and Elon Musk. And Mr. Keshe was basically saying that, the position, time, place, and position, the position of the planet is dictating what's present on the planet. So where it's positioned in relation to the central sun, the mother, as Mr. Keshe would say, is what is creating life on the planet. So when Stefania said, if we just wait, Mars will move into a position and life will be created. It has a magnetical and gravitational field strength that's similar to Earth. So when it's in a certain position, life automatically within that zone starts to manifest. And Mr. Keshe was speaking about the intelligence. And so the intelligence comes from the tilt. The tilt of the planet can also create the intelligence of the beings that are present. So in relation to the mother, and when we actually create, when the magnetic fields create this slight tilt, then the creation of the beings present gains a certain intelligence or not, depending upon its position again. So this is where we had, like before, when we were further away from the sun, the Earth created dinosaurs and much larger beings in physicality. This is because we had a certain field strength, gravitational magnetic field, that created these beings at that size. We are no longer in that position, so we cannot create these beings of that size anymore. I mean, the biggest we have is a blue whale, I believe. So the intelligence comes from that slight tilt. And if you think about the soul of the man in a position within the structure of the physicality of the man, we lie down and we go to sleep. We go into that state of soul travel. And that position of the brain, which encapsulates and actually holds the soul, is then in a, how can we say, a horizontal position. And then when we stand up, we take the matter state of the brain and we reposition the soul, another sun. We reposition it into another position, and it creates another magnetic gravitational field of intelligence. So we have, we position ourselves on a soul level within a physicality, and then we have a slight, we are created in a certain way by the interaction of the magnetic fields that our body is, in position with the planet. So this creates all sorts of different possibilities. And another thing that Stefania spoke about was Venus. So when Earth becomes into a position of Venus, there will be no more physical life, because it won't be able to sustain physical life on the exterior of the planet. The conditions for a physical body will be too harsh, will be different, so you cannot sustain a physical body. And this kind of explains a lot of situations around the planets, and that we see physical form across universes. So this explains many things. It also explains that we ourselves as a soul and part of the interaction of the universe, we are part of the sun. We came from the sun. We came from the interaction of this central mother. And when we positioned ourselves on a planet that's at a certain distance, we created the physicality of a human being. If we take our soul and position it on another planet or another place, we wouldn't have the same body. We would look totally different. We wouldn't be able to sustain a body as we have right now, 2 arms, 2 legs, a head, in a normal condition. What's normal? I mean, anything's normal, really. So when we reposition, we take a soul and reposition it, we will look totally different. And for many beings, even present on planet Earth, you know, we always think we're the top of the tree of evolution, when in fact, as Mr. Keshe would say, we're not. We're part of another interaction of fields much lower down. The other beings have no physicality or a very slight physicality. They're gases in the atmosphere of planet Earth, and they have an intelligence. We just don't have the ability to measure this at the moment because it's in a different condition to what we're used to. We always see physical. So this creation of the magnetic fields of ourselves and the understanding of our position is, for me, you know, that time, place, and position, that tilt, which is the diversity of life that began on planet Earth, has created us, and the whole spectrum of energies and all the intelligence we have has come from these interactions. However, going back to what Mr. Keshe said about the intelligence of the first thing I spoke about, but emotions from the soul of the physicality of the man, without dimension, interact with intelligence. So the intelligence is coming from a source outside of the physicality. And the more that you align yourself with the abundance of the universal knowledge, the more intelligence you'll gather in a different way. And I know that many people that start to tap into the creation start getting, they absorb intelligence in a totally different way. They become very full of wonderful creations. And they ask, and many people are like, where did this come from? I received it in a dream, or I don't know, it was just there. It's just part of me. It's the part of creation that's given to us by the Creator and all the souls that are present for us to advance and to gain intelligence of a much bigger totality. So thank you, Stefania. Thank you all for listening. Rick, I don't know if that's enough, or if you'd like to ask anybody else to say anything about this particular
I would like to add a
590
little bit.
second. Thank you, Mosfeq. I'll let you go ahead. Thank you.
All right. So there is a small thing that Mr. Keshe mentioned, is that, you know, we tend to look outside, outer world, but there is a slight reluctance to, or sort of sort of negligence, not reluctance, so much as negligence, to look inside. So Mr. Keshe mentioned that in the last knowledge of this workshop, one of the things in the planetary evolution is that life form not only develops on the surface, but in the space around it, but also inside. And he was very specific about it. And there are life forms in Mars. And he also mentioned that there are life forms similar to or close to human beings inside the planet that we know as planet Earth. So this brings up a lot of things in mind. So, are we going to see them? They are our neighbors. And how is the situation in Venus? Because under the protection of the planetary surface, things are quite different. And adaptation cycle or evolution of intelligence and capacities can be quite dramatic. So this brings up a lot of intriguing questions and possibilities that that we never thought about. And it's it was a very striking statement for me, although he briefly mentioned it, but it's something to think about, and I just wanted to bring it up for everybody's attention. Thank you.
Thank you, MOSFET. Rick, I think we can pass over now. I think we can go to the next slide. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Okay, this is this is about news about the new products and licensing agreements and whatnot with the Keshe Foundation products. I can open up the website for the store. Mark, do you have some remarks about that?
Well, again, if you're looking for advanced space technology that you can apply today and work with, you'll find it in the Keshe Foundation store. And then, of course, there's so many different ways to support the Keshe Foundation. Again, I think our best tool is our emotions and our energies and giving to the whole process. But as we see here, we have a Keshe coin, which is going to be integrated into this one planet, one nation, one race, and one financial structure. I think we'll come to understand this more in the future. And of course, at Keshe Cosmic Ray is where you can find the, I think this is part of the AI development. Of course, the Mark Ray Corporation is the home of Cosmic Rays. You can actually purchase shares within the Mark Ray Corporation, probably through a worldwide broker like Charles Schwab, and see if it's available. But this is another way to support, and apparently there'll be quite a bit of appreciation in that Mark Ray as more and more licensing agreements and manufacturing agreements are signed. Here is the new website, which will be added to. This is not the 3-hour video Mr. Keshe had mentioned that was going to be produced about this, but this is an aspect of the conference that they're releasing at this point. So, as he said, what was done in Beijing, it's changed a lot of positions, the way governments look at the Keshe Foundation. And of course, the Keshe coin is at this point an internal sort of financial structure. It's been set up through a bank, as I understand it, in Europe, and it's used for, at this point in time, internal purchases and work within the Keshe Foundation. But as he said, he created the coin as a universal currency that it may be exchanged. And I think there's some variations or other things that we don't quite understand about it. And of course, that coin will also be used, I think people who will be working in around the Keshe Foundation, or through perhaps the licensing or manufacturing part, could be offered the Keshe coin in exchange for wages or the wages of your country. So there's a lot of intrigue with this. And of course, this coin is not backed by thin air. This is backed by the knowledge of creation and the process of creation. And this is what we saw in Beijing. This process of creating, I think, from the nano up rather than the big bang down. This was another part of the, but as he said, there's many things in the store. The store will grow to a phenomenal number of advanced, we can call the field interaction products. Again, we're not curing anything or we're not healing anything. We're creating a balance in a way, or what we're calling processing. So these products, again, are alien technology, if you want to look at it that way. There's the resin line of products, which we saw the cosmic ray material embedded in. This line of resin products will expand. So there'll be some surprises coming into the right. You're seeing some resin products already within coasters. I think soap dishes are also part of this, yes, or even these other things that you can put on your phone or that sort of hang there in a way to block or absorb harmful radiations. Yes, many, many beautiful designs. And of course, these products are made under the observation of Mr. Keshe. And as he said, in many instances, he tests it on himself before you lot get it. So these are the certified products. And again, he's mentioned just in the last workshop, I believe, that some of these wellness, this material for wellness, will start to be available in the European Union. I think Austria is first. I don't know if that has happened or it's in the works in a way, but it'll expand to other pharmacies in other parts of the EU. All of these products, as I understand it, are EU certified. We're waiting for probably some other certifications in different countries, but the exact wellness material that will be available, I'm not sure. There's the soap dishes. There's the soap as well. So there's sort of a hand in glove where the soap has its own sort of connection and allow connection between different users of the soap, which again, you would think is beyond the capability, but this is part of getting man to turn away from war, is to just wow him in a way with such advanced products. And of course, we're hearing a lot. There's products for the cell phone or your tablet. Here's the soap as well. And of course, there's the Cosmic Ray Mystery Package. And these are beautiful soaps. I've ordered them once. I'm due to order them again. But these soap products are quite nice, but yet they carry, after you use them, the material in a way you carry it with you. You can even carry one of these bars of soap in your pocket. Here's the Cosmic Ray Mystery Offer. You pick a number. I think they're still available. It doesn't say they have, the store is out of stock in this. So I know they said 50 pieces originally, but as Mr. Keshe said, you may receive a value of much more than the €250 plus the value added tax. You'll at least receive that. And there's some sort of special way, in a way, I think that the people working in this environment here can sense perhaps what the person ordering something like this may need. Again, this is all the interaction of the field. So you would get something you can share with another person, or perhaps you can use for yourself. So you can see the store is expanding. The resin products will expand greatly. Pharmacies are starting to carry, or will start to carry in the very near future. And of course, we have the flight to destination and the rest of it. Many, many offers. There's the flight to destination, which, as he said, if you've never participated in these sessions, you can join at any time. And of course, all of this is keeping the Keshe Foundation free for humanity. We've heard the stories of many times how some of the very well-known names in the world of, let's just say, in the world, have approached Mr. Keshe. Mr. Keshe has negotiated. They wanted to buy the Keshe Foundation, I guess, from the King of Belgium in a way, or just take it to others who we've heard about. But again, as Mr. Keshe said, we're not going that route, because then the technology would get delayed. It'd get sort of dripped out in a way. And this is all part of the plan. So keep the Keshe Foundation free. He only has the knowledge seekers and a few others to get this done. So whatever you can do as a direct donation, or as something you'd like to receive from the store. And again, this is going to expand, and it will touch every area of our lives. So this will be one of the most comprehensive. And of course, the artisans are also invited to bring their products, collaborate with the Keshe Foundation, receive a licensing agreement that your products are certified, and your sales and probably your revenues will increase dramatically. So many, many products for a variety of things. And again, we're not healing, and we're not curing anything. We're bringing in a balance into the structure. And this is what the plasma has a characteristic of doing. So we're understanding, in a way, the implication of these products. We're understanding the application of some of these products, but we're not understanding how to make some of these products ourselves. Although in the upcoming period, as Mr. Keshe said, this summer energy pack, and I think we all know what an energy pack is being monitored. There's some sort of disturbance in the East right now, and this is being monitored, and you will be able to create something right in your own kitchen that will help to drain energy out of this very small battery, as we sometimes address it, or this energy package, if it becomes a problem. And of course, this will be very easy to make in these circumstances, as Mr. Keshe did in 2020. He showed us how to, and made a video about it, how to produce that Cup of Life 1 and Cup of Life 2. And of course, he said to set it exactly the way I said it. And when we followed that protocol, we've heard a lot of beautiful results across the world and experienced it ourselves. But of course, it'll take us quite a long time to figure out exactly what's going on. But as I said, we can apply it and we can understand its usage and implications and actually create some of these very simple sort of cups, but it's not simple. We sort of just made it look that way. So please, if you can, and if you'd like to give someone, again, the alien technology, let's say, or advanced space technology. And of course, we know the Mark Ray Corporation has that 9661 designation to it. And of course, that's the space research and development. And of course, it's the new way of traveling the universe without fuel and without rockets. So many ways to support. And again, I think our best tool is to use your emotions and your energy to support the Keshe Foundation. If you don't have access to the store, or if, as we've heard in many countries, there's a huge duty tax coming in, so, or products can be not received, or the country blocking it. So you can use your energies and support in that way. But there's many other ways. If you can get funds to the Keshe Foundation to participate as a satellite soul, as a flight to destination, or just a pure donation. And as we've heard in the past, Mr. Keshe will choose, and he may match some of those donations. So if you give $1, it may end up as $2 or $3 or $5, as Mr. Keshe adds his own funds to what you're doing. But this is the way we keep the Keshe Foundation free for humanity. Many different ways, many different products, and we've heard some fantastic testimonies. So I think that's it, Rick, unless someone else wants to say something else.
Well, you've certainly covered a lot there, Mark, and there's always more to cover, I suppose, but you did very well, I think.
Just give me a moment with the NutriTubes, if I could.
Okay.
I'll just explain what happened to me. Last year, I was sort of doing the intermittent fasting. And again, this is not about stopping feeding, because you have to feed on something. If you go to the NutriTubes, Rick, and I was sort of battling with it. I never liked fasting as being part of a religious thing. I never, even though Rick is quite developed in that area, but I've always eaten when I was hungry, and if I'm not hungry, I don't eat. So we worked with it, intermittent fasting. We played around with that a little bit last year, and then I thought I'd get a professionally made product, which these are the GANS tubes, I think he calls them. I'm not sure if the material is GANS, but he's calling it a GANS material. And one is a protein, and one is an herbal combination, and one is a fruity combination. And the other one is a vegetable combination. And as he said with the fruity, you're receiving or you're not receiving, but the energy of 1,000,000 apples is within this tube. You can hold it in your hand, you can put it in water, or you can apply it different ways. This receives energy from the universe, and you're taking energy by holding this in your right hand, and it brings energy. So we've been playing with that process. Again, it's not so much the big deal about not eating, because you're still feeding on something, but it's the idea of moving away from killing in a very simple way. And of course, as of February 7th of this year, I had skipped 2 meals a day. We started with 1, and then we sort of went to 2. And this has helped quite a bit. I used it probably for 2.5 months, and now I'm not using it at all. I think I've reached a position, which is not anything amazing in a way, but it's amazing for me. I'm still having a few cups of coffee during the day. And as Mr. Keshe said, you could live on coffee. But as of February 7th, of this year, I had skipped, that was 30 days where I skipped 2 meals a day, in a way. And I've stuck to it. So right now we're in May or June, almost to June 7th. So I've skipped, that would be 150 days. I've skipped 2 meals a day without any pain, without the stomach growling. A couple times we've had the stomach growling. And this is great for people who want to play with the weight loss in a way. So if I think the system was 300 euro, 400 euro, I'm not sure what it was, plus the value added tax. But if I take those 150 days times 2 meals a day, if you're a money man or want to see if you're getting your value out of the store, that would be 300 meals that I didn't have to shop for, I didn't have to prepare for, I didn't have to use my time eating that meal, and I didn't use my time to clean up after that meal. So if we take 300 meals at average of $10 a meal, which these days we know the prices of everything, that would be about $3,000. The system cost $400. And now it's given me some confidence that I can go to the next level. Everything always is building up. But what happens with many of these systems, and again, it's just, you have to work with it a bit, but it gives you the confidence and the understanding. In a way, you're sort of being trained, or these processes somehow is reminding your structure or ingraining within you this capability to do it without. So about 3 weeks ago, for some reason, and every day I was very fastidious about making sure I was using these tubes right on time for different amounts of time. I think 30 minutes is the recommended, but you can extend that or do whatever you'd like in a way. But now I think I've reached it, that these tubes have been in the cabinet for about 3 weeks. But somehow either it's ingrained it within me, or I'm connected to these tubes, and I'm sort of taking more energy rather than killing other creatures, releasing their soul and taking their energy to sustain my structure. So that's my testimony about these tubes. And again, this is for space travel, more or less. We can use it here, but as he said, we cannot take all the food we need into space. We cannot take all the doctors or all the medicine and the rest of these things. So this is all being done in a way through the energy dimension. And again, what you experience may be different than what I've experienced, but I'm sure you will receive something if it's your wish to. If it's your wish to block it, that you remain in control, then of course the system probably will not work for you. So thank you, Rick. I think that concludes what I'd like to mention at this point.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Mark. Go back to our presentation here.
Did we have a Mark Ray background there? What we show with the plasma, or in a way the artist rendition of the plasma?
Just the bare.
You know, the
picture.
picture, the sphere. when you bring up the
yes,
mark, Ray?
I've got that.
Let's just see. Now, is it animated? Let's see if we can get that.
No, I'll go to the website then.
Yeah, I think we want to go just to the website. We're just going to run a little sort of funny thing here for a minute on this beautiful plasma. And again, think of it as a 360-degree ball in a way, although it's not a perfect sphere. As we know, the plasma undulates and sort of changes shape. So, but it is in general spherical. This is not rotating.
Yeah, my background decided to go crazy here. Just a minute.
No problem. So now, you know, we see these little white lines, and you can see it more and more. And of course, we can see the center, or this is where the soul sits. Yes, this is the one I wanted to take a quick look at. So this is beautiful and quite mesmerizing, and we can think how the creator released one ray, and that was responsible for the entire creation. We can see those little white things, and this is us. And Rick, if we could slide that down to the bottom of the screen where we see a half sphere, no, the other way. I guess it would work that way too, but yes, go down. No, go down, half sphere. Down to the, if you take the whole page and just move it down to the bottom where we can only see the other way, go the other way. A little more.
That's as far as it goes.
Well, can't you slide the whole page down? Anyway, if we were just
Nope.
cut it off halfway, if you slide the whole page down, no, it won't go down. This is our, remember Mr. Keshe said the secret is within the brain and the spaceship is within the soul of the man. So if we were to slide this and just cut off the bottom half of it, we would see our half sphere spaceship plasmatic reactor in a way. Or if you consider this is your brain, the secret is in the brain and the spaceship is within the soul. The soul sits in the center usually, and this is the half sphere spaceship reactor. I just wanted to sort of, and if you go on the website and if you can move it down, it really shows a beautiful picture of a half sphere spaceship reactor. I've done that a couple times.
I'm not sure where you mean that. Maybe it's on a different section of the page.
No, I just took the whole page and slid it down. But no problem. It's just a way of looking at your structure in a way as that half sphere spaceship reactor, plasmatic. Okay, no problem. That was good. Maybe we'll do it later in the plasma reactor group, or I'll bring it up. Maybe I should have brought it up. No problem. But yes, I'm very. I think this is a beautiful pedagogical tool to teach people in a way about the plasma and see all the interactions and all the connections and how it's floating there, sort of suspended, and all the other fields, these sort of lines around it, outside of it, all the fields that the soul can connect without even changing its position. So as we've often seen, this is not coincidental. I think it's a beautiful rendition of it. And we see this on some of the coasters. It's actually imprinted on some of the previous coasters. So again, the Mark Ray Corporation is the home of the cosmic ray technology, which again, these are actually creator rays. He's referred to these cosmic rays as, and we're just sort of learning a bit about them and opening up and working in this dimension of enlightenment, time, and the rest. But yeah, I see the brain playing quite an important role, at least in our position here, to create that whole universe exist within this structure or access to it.
This is your brain on plasma.
There you go.
And remind people the Mark Ray Corporation website, which I've just posted as a link there. You can go to, there's some upper headings. You can go to science, and there's quite a detailed, it's almost a paper more than just a comment, website comment, called Evolutionary Breakthrough in the World of Space and Science. And it gets to all the comments of Mr. Keshe on the way things are now and about the new science known as cosmic ray plasma technology. And as it mentions, with cosmic rays, there's no limitation for one traveling and for lift and motion and so on. And it's quite an involved statement here that's very interesting to read for people that would like to know more information about the connection between the magrav's plasmatic fields and the cosmic rays.
And of course, you mentioned this like a paper, and we know that the cosmic ray paper that Mr. Keshe is about to put out is soon to be released. And of course, this will create more enlightenment in the world of science, as the creation of the black hole paper also did for some of the world leading scientists of the day at that time.
Yes, this may actually either be the paper or based on the paper, depending. I'm not sure yet, but it's quite detailed. So for those that would like to enjoy that sort of thing, I recommend it.
Yeah, and as Mr. Keshe has done, sometimes we ask him, well, when are you going to release the cosmic ray paper? He says, I already released it. It's on the Mark Ray website. So we may get some surprise. I don't know if it is, or there'll be another formal release of the paper. But as Rick said, this information, we can spend decades just within this probably paper that Rick's pointing out.
Mm. Okay, very good, Mark. Perhaps we should
Mark,
move.
yeah, as you said, that the beautiful blue light, this is so lively. We are feeling so lively.
This is us. This is our energy dimension, I believe.
Yes. Yes, like I am. Oh, so much. So feel strength we have, so much strength. Everybody's loving us, kind of that. This feeling arises. So much light, so much purity, so much love. And we are middle in it. We are in the middle, and we are like I feel like, oh, I'm a goddess. So beautiful. You said, thank you, Mark. Thank you.
I think we can go to do we have time to go to transmutation time?
Get back here. Let me see what's next on our list. I guess we have transmutation, then our needs and wishes. And we do have some questions from our audience here we need to address as well.
Yes.
Would Moshfek like to say something at this point?
Are we talking about transmutation, or are we answering some questions? I'm not sure what's going on.
Well, transmutation is next on our list, but
okay, transmutation. How are we doing with time? If it's a bit late, we can skip it, but if not, I can talk.
We're running a bit late, I would say, yes, but
in that case, let's skip it and we can talk next time.
Okay. Okay, next we have needs and wishes. And again, we have a full minute of silence for each wish. And we'll, after we do these 3 wishes, then we can entertain the questions from our audience here. I think the first one is either Mark or Joseph, and as Joseph is not here.
Rick?
Yes?
Yes, welcome, Dean. Rick, we cannot see the screen.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Let me share properly here. There we go.
Oh, thank you, my dear. Thank you so much. Needs and wishes, beautiful soul. My dear Dean, you are so welcome. Hello.
Thank you, Shweta. Yeah, okay, I can read this wish. So needs and wishes. And this is we, the Universal Council, give through our souls that Russia and Ukraine can find peace for the sake of all the families of the planet. And we are present.
We, the Universal Council, elevate the souls of our brothers and sisters of India and Pakistan for peace and enlightenment now. We are present.
I have Marinez or Safania for this one, but whoever would like to take it.
Okay, I'll read it, Rick.
Okay.
Thank you, Sweta. Okay, so needs and wishes again. We, the Universal Council, wish peace is restored in Romania. We are present.
Okay, perhaps we can address some of the questions that have come up.
Yes, yes, my dear. Thank you.
Let's see, get back to my YouTube chat here. Okay. We did have a question back when we were doing the 15th commandment. And Tender had asked a question, how do you see judgment versus free will? And I'm not sure if someone would like to address that, perhaps. Judgment versus free will in regards to the 15th commandment.
How, how could it be judgment versus free will? This is a two different things. And judgment is quite, judgment is a materialistic thing we do in a way, in levels. But free will is something very different. It connects the inner realm. So these are two different things. When we say judgment, we operate in duality. When we say free will, we get this neutral way to understand soul, to give space to every soul to understand in their level, coming out, coming, coming in each level, having this knowledge, coming in peace, like that. So these has no verses, and judgment is a very different thing, kind of that. Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Shweta. Anybody else like to mention anything about that, or shall we carry on? We've got several other things here.
Rick, I can just quickly mention something. So many people talk about free will in the spiritual communities and things. And yes, of course, we have free will. We all do. But this is a different teaching to the understanding of the knowledge of the universe that is being brought forward. And if you have the correct ethos, then free will is in alignment. You would never do anything wrong. It would be like the three wise men: think, speak, and act. And it would be in the ethos of creation. If this is the free will, then then it's beauty. If it's another free will that I can do as I wish, that would harm another, then I don't think this is the correct ethos. However, that's my understanding. So thank you, Rick. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, they had a bit of conversation in YouTube. I think we can pass on that part. Tender wondered in regards to Mark's comment about the 1 meal a day. Says, I wonder if you 1 meal a day achievers are all living alone, or are you living in company with family? I mean, if you live daily close encounters, temptations, and or opposers who are always around the corner are there. In other words, and Moshfex talked about this before as well, that sometimes he goes without eating and he's in company of his family or friends or whatever, and he feels the pressure that he needs to, participate in some ways. So, and I felt that too in fasting and whatnot. There's the temptations that, oh, if I just want this one thing, but that one thing will put you back to zero again in a way, and you have to start again with your fast in order to accommodate that. And there's always opposers that are saying, oh, you're going to die, or things are not good, and so on and so forth. And yes, that's part of what goes along with that. Any other comments there?
Yes, I mean, this is an aspect. Yes, I do live with my mother, and I have, mothers are particularly insistent when it comes to
Yes,
food.
they're
But
so protective, right? Yes.
yeah, I mean, it's like family at a different level, you can tell. But nevertheless, it's working. There are, ways around it, and I kind of like, it's kind of like one of the things that initially when I stopped eating, I mean, when I wasn't getting hungry, what happened is that I also lost a little bit of weight, which is as you can guess, is an alarm. But now that I've gained back, it's the what do you call it? The argument for not eating is no longer there. So it's up to us to prove the science by living it. And so, science, but like any science, there can be a theory, but once we can live it and prove it, then the argument goes away, or the debate goes away. So, it's kind of like that. So this is how I look at it. And there is enough proof by now in various ways, not just me not eating, but the eating is challenged more often. So, but as you can see, I'm not losing, I don't get hungry, etc., etc. And you have to adjust and tell them a little bit about what you're doing, but it can be done, but it has to be done slowly.
Okay, let's see. We had some other questions here. We had a question from Hong, who made a comment in the YouTube and also put his question in the webinar chat here. Says, dear elders of the Cosmic Council, greetings. I have a question regarding issue 592 of the Knowledge Seekers Workshop. Mr. Keshe mentioned that the new US government is signing a series of weapons contracts, and we now have a 2-year window period to develop plasma technology, which is urgent. He hopes that knowledge seekers can support $1 to $2 million within 2 to 3 weeks. I understand this fund will mainly be used for his upcoming trip to Russia to do the same as with China, technology demonstration and signing licensing contracts. Is my understanding correct? And how can we think of ways to help raise this urgently needed funds? Additionally, just yesterday, the UK Prime Minister Starmer announced that the British military is shifting to combat readiness, planning to invest $15 billion in building 12 attack nuclear submarines. This seems to confirm Mr. Keshe's prediction, and the UK's rapid decision makes me feel the window period might be even less than 2 years. And I might add that they're doing the same thing in Canada. There's a sudden urgency to spend a lot of money into defense contracts. And it's sudden, and there's a deadline of July 9th or some July 7th in that range to make these decisions for some reason all of a sudden. And meanwhile, our parliament is trying to dissolve so they don't have a budget during this time, and it's open-ended. So it's a very strange times that way. So what do you think about this question? Is the understanding correct that the raised funds would be used for the trip to Russia to demonstrate the technology, or perhaps for all of the trips coming up?
Well, I will say, my dear Rick, there is no prediction like these are not predictions. We can see how if a body is invaded with cancer, how it works. It grows if we say bypass like that, bypass surgery or like that, because in physicality all these things are going on, but then many things get damaged in the body. Same with the planet. So I will say even the beings that are in. So and the funds are used for humanity, for the upliftment of humanity, for the benefit of humanity, for the benefit of all souls, my dear home. And uh, this damage, as you are seeing, this military is going here, the funds are going here, they are creating these weapons. What about the levels and wars in each level we have been through? So many people died because of this, but they never came to focus because they are social wars. They are socially killed, kind of that. In India, it is common. We have been like this. So we have to address every level in our emotional way so that the peace process will go much faster. If we focus on these things like that, we say, then it will be like this bypass surgery of a cancer patient. And if we say that these are not going to happen and peace is coming out, then peace will be there. And all the funds are for humanity, for all those who are in need, actually. These prime ministers, these uh, white hats or whatever you can say, they are doing their last acting, whatever they do, in a way, I will say. But still, they are also equal, and they should stop this. We are not judging anybody, but because this process is going from eons, this has to stop, and all weapons is going to be obsolete. So, my dear Huang, only, yeah, I understand when the chaos comes, the collapse begins from within you. And then we have to understand how to get this is in balance. To understand what you see is more important. There are many epics out of this, but then you have to understand. You have to be the the king of yourself, of your kingdom. You want peace. You don't want this massacre. You don't want this chaos anymore. What has happened has happened. We have to let go all these things, all these politicians, all these weapons and all, and they will go. So, my dear Huang, please always see the funds are coming because we are all wishing for that from our heart, core of heart and soul. And the technology will come to suit, to help people to grow, children to grow in a beautiful place. So, thank you, Huang, for asking. But be positive, I will say these words. There's, yes, thank you, my dear. Thank you so much.
That's a good point, Shweta. It seems like the physicality funds, the physicality dollars come from the interaction of the fields, basically the emotions and feelings and interactions of the fields of people toward that peace will naturally attract funding to help that cause. So I think that's happening more and more on the planet to offset this this other energy that's going toward the combat readiness. We're going toward spiritual combat readiness in a way for all the people.
Yes. Yes, of course, my dear. It was hard for me too when I was there in the first step, but now I understand that what we see, what we understand, what we feel, what we our soul, when we trust our soul, we create this condition. Indeed, that was unbelievable for me a few years ago. Thank you, Rick, my dear.
It's Dean here. I'd just like to add something. So, if you remember in last week's One Planet, One Nation, One Race, I was speaking about Romania. And I went on a little trip to Romania a little while ago. And part of this trip was with a group of people, and we traveled around Romania and very many different places, going to different sites and witnessing and like a tourist. And part of the tour was we went to the a governmental palace that's in Romania. And it's one of the world's biggest structures, and most people would not know this. It's a very huge building that was specifically built at a certain time, and now it's not used for that function because there was a change of, the political order. But so this building still remains, and I was walking around this vast corridors in physicality, and all these emotions and all these things that have created this, and it's wealth in the physicality that has turned into a physical building that gets used for certain procedures. Around the outskirts of this building, I noticed there were very many other buildings where I think the real intentions of the governmental process goes on. But it's all physical. It's all physicality. And we as a universal council, we as humanity, we as the souls of creation have a very big control position. And we know what this is. We speak about it constantly. It's the soul of the man. And it's of higher field strength than the physical form. So the more that we go to the soul, which is unlimited, the more we interact, the more that we change our realities. And the more that people sit in fear of something, the more you attract it. So the more that you go into the beauty of unconditional love and giving, the more that you experience this, put yourself in a position to experience this, the more that the other interactions don't manifest. So I know we have to tap into it. It's part of it. It's the physical side, and we are physical. However, we can, as we know, at 9 o'clock every evening, tap into the universal flow with the universal council. And so we have a choice as souls of created souls on this planet to start to bring a peace inside ourselves. The lower souls that need to create these conditions, this is why we elevate the souls of the leaders. And this is why we do it. Because we don't sit in judgment of them. They just turned a condition where their soul is so low that we need to give to them, to elevate them, to bring peace to their structure. And the sooner that humanity, the souls, understand this and come together and create this condition, the sooner the magnetic gravitational fields of the matter state of the creation of these weapons will disappear. They won't exist. It's like Mr. Keshe said many times, there will be a time when the man will pick up a gun and won't even remember what it's for. The planets change position, the intelligence changes. We change the magnetic field. We start the change in this moment by being present with ourselves and having that peace within our structure. and giving that love and care to each and every other created soul. And you have a choice in this moment, and you have a responsibility to yourself and to the others. Give unconditionally, receive unconditionally, be in peace. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, Rick.
Thank you, my dear Dean. Beautifully said. Beautifully. Thank you so much. Now, if there is no sharing or asking from the beautiful souls here, we can go to the next presentation, my dear.
A couple of quick things. Tony says in the YouTube, Rick, with the energy feeding tubes, can we share that same tube with our partner? Maybe Mark can answer that. He might know.
As far as I understand it, most of these products, it's recommended not to share at this point. As he said, with the soaps, it wasn't a problem. This feeding tubes, I don't believe that was specifically addressed, but I think we should, again, these are individual use products, even though they're, for many of the headphones and other systems, there'll be a neutralizing system developed. As he said, they know how to do it. It's just a matter of not having the time. So I think in the future, you will see most of these products become multi-use products.
That seems to be the case, yeah. Okay, and we have a comment from Dankin in our chat here. It says, hello, Rick and everyone. I am with 5 people from Tanzania. They say they're very happy about the teaching, about this teaching. They are learning more, and they greet all readers. They're happy for this Zoom meeting, and one day I will call Dr. Gatawa. We will teach them with Dr. Gatawa, but they say they are very happy for this learning. It says, my visitors are learning more about the Keshe Foundation. They say the Keshe Foundation have a good teaching for technology in this planet, and they are from Tanzania. So there we go.
Thank you, Duncan. Thank you, Duncan, my dear, and all beings from Tanzania. And thank you for your love and respect, and we appreciate very, very much. Thank you so much.
Okay, I think that takes care of our questions here, so far as I can tell. So I think we can move to the next part.
Yes. Now, then we are here to serve, not to be served, beautiful souls. And welcome again. Welcome, welcome, beautiful souls, as you are all here always, with the love of your heart, the strength of you. Thank you so much for being here always. And welcome, welcome, welcome to Swagatam into the beautiful, beautiful energy of Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute. Beautiful energy of the universal souls. All we are beautiful, beautiful in this beauty and totality. Welcome, welcome. And beautifully, as Dilraj said, welcome. Yes.
If I could, was that Tony who asked the question, Rick, about the sharing of products? I just went and pulled out the vision enhancement instructions with the goggles. And of course, it says the vision enhancement unit is for personal use and must not be shared with other persons, because the fields adapt to the body of the man and the environment of one brain. So, as Mr. Keshe said, unless you want someone else's dreams, you probably won't be sharing these products.
Okay, for now, I think we'll have to leave it at that. Yes. And that could definitely change in the future as Mr. Keshe develops the technology, it seems.
Yes, indeed, my dear. Thank you. Thank you, beautiful souls, again. Join, love, hug, Keshe Foundation. come home in the family. Thank you so much. And the Universal Council, thank you so, so much. Salam, namaste, salute.
Okay, now let me see if I can get my screen to share here. There we go. Okay, well, I think that brings to a close today's 381st One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace. And thank you to the members and support members of the Universal Council for presenting today's show. And we'll be back again next week at the same time and place for another presentation, no doubt. Our next public teaching workshop is the Keshe Plasma Reactor Group, which will start Wednesday, June 4th, starting at 7 a.m. Central European Time. And we usually go for several hours of interactions on plasmatic things. If you have something you'd like to demonstrate or questions about things you're working on, that's a good avenue to get that done. And it's open to young and old, all members of the public, whether you're a newcomer or an old timer with the technology. And please consider attending. And of course, we have the Knowledge Seekers Workshop coming up once again on Thursday and once again at 9 a.m. Central European Time. That'll be Thursday, June 5th. And what is it? The 593rd Knowledge Seekers Workshop, I believe.
Rick, would you like to announce the testimonial meeting as the second Monday of each month, which I think is coming up on the 9th?
Goodness, already, yes. Hard to believe. Yes, Monday, June 9th, since it's the second Monday of the month, will be our public meeting for testimonials. And if you have something you would like to share that has affected you in terms of the plasma technology, and that's an excellent place to get it down for posterity. And that starts at the 8 p.m. Central European Time, again on every second Monday of the month. So again, the same channel as far as Zoom is concerned. Okay, anything else that we need to handle here before we
Yeah, you have to handle the dance. You have to handle dance and clap. My beautiful soul. Be in joy. Be blessed always. You beautiful soul. Thank you.
Okay, yes, indeed. Thank you, Shweta, for your enthusiasm at the end here once again. And yes, we'll go out with our usual flight enhancement spaceship unit, music version. And again, thank you, everybody, for attending today's workshop. See you next time around.